I have a question for you guys. Which headphones are you using right now, and what is your opinion on them? Let me know in the comments. Number 5. HIFIMAN Sundara, best for the money. By doing away with the numbering sequence, HIFIMAN has been able to craft a specific pitch for the Sundara that breaks the numbering chain to their previous headphones. The Sundara is not just an iterative upgrade on either, though. HIFIMAN is pitching two key areas that I think will resonate with HIFIMAN fans: build and sound quality. All of this is wrapped around the phrase beautiful, which is the literal translation of the word Sundara. As a result, HIFIMAN is pitching the new design to be their best and most durable quality build to date. The form factor is very coherent, with a more consistent matte black colouring and a use of materials that seem better finished and more durable than before. There is a clear preference for metal over plastics in the Sundara, and it feels all the better for it. The Sundara is a dual-entry headphone, as with all their full-sized headphones. However, the connectors have changed from 2.5mm TRS mono to 3.5mm TRS. You also get a quarter jack converter as an additional accessory. The Sundara's excellent transient response and dynamic range delivers an accurate and engaging imaging experience within a fairly spacious soundstage. If names are a thing, then the Sundara should have more staying power than the previous numbered generation. There's a palatable step up in both refinement of sound and build quality on the Sundara over the previous generation that'll stand it in good stead. Number 4. Sennheiser HD660S. Best for most people. The HD600 series from Sennheiser is, without a doubt, one of the most successful audiophile headphone lines ever created. The HD650 and the HD600 have been around for almost 2 decades, but they continue to be a favourite amongst listeners. The HD660S rocks the traditional HD600 series chassis, but with a slick all-matte black finish. With the exception of the outer grills and inner headband, the HD660S's body is composed almost entirely out of plastic. I've owned a couple of these Sennheiser headphones over the years, and not once have I had issues with their build quality. The only part on this headphone that will need replacing is the pads, which wear out extremely quickly. You'll probably have to swap the pads out every year or so to ensure that they continue to deliver their intended sound. Sub-bass is stepped down a bit from the mid-bass and rolls off a little early compared to a lot of the more current headphones that have been released since the original HD650's heyday. Still, there is something comforting and familiar about the HD660S's bass presentation. It's a classic sound that's just right. Time will tell if it can be as successful as its classic predecessor, but all comparisons aside, it's a great sounding headphone with a sound that works well for pretty much any kind of music. Number 3. Sennheiser HD800S, best studio headphones. Being one of the most expensive headphones that you can buy, the Sennheiser HD800S are an open-back headphone that have most of the sound quality of the HD800 with smoother trebles, but still carries the audiophile-grade sound of it. These are top-class headphones tuned to provide the best listening experience that you can find on the market. They may cost a fortune, but if you value sound quality over everything, Sennheiser quality doesn't disappoint. The sound of the Sennheiser HD800S is very open, as the design shows. The sound flows all around you, and it's not just in your head. It does the job better than other open-back headphones, providing a soundstage that's extremely wide and expansive, better than any surround sound headset can create. The sound is mostly thanks to their dynamic drivers that are used on all of Sennheiser's lineup. The bass performance you get from the Sennheiser HD800S is amazing, with great depth and punch, but still pretty balanced and overwhelming without bleeding into the mid-range. The trebles are smoothed out and a little more normal and calmer, but still sharp and detailed enough, making the Sennheiser HD800S right for everyone. With perfect mids and best of the best overall audio, the Sennheiser HD800S, if you can afford them, will be your favourite headphones ever. Definitely one of the best studio headphones in the market. Number 2. Audeze LCD-X, best runner-up. The Audeze LCD-X might be an example of a headphone that's built too well. The LCD-X weighs over 635 grams, and while much of this is due to the magnet structure in place, there's quite a bit of metal on this headphone as well. Thankfully, the cable is excellent, being both lightweight and tangle-free with no microphonic issues. Overall, the design of these headphones is pretty good. The comfort, apart from the weight, is also excellent. The Audeze LCD-X uses a double-sided magnetic array along with Audeze's phaser elements. In spite of its full-sized look and design, the LCD-X is also easy enough to drive. However, it does still benefit from a good headphone amplifier, and I wouldn't run it from a phone. The LCD-X has really good detail retrieval and image clarity, a noticeable step up from lower-priced planar magnetic headphones. The LCD-X has the kind of immediacy and snappiness that we should expect from a high-end planar magnetic headphone. Everything sounds tight and well-controlled, meaning bass definition comes through strongly, and it has an easy time handling complex layers and busy passages. If you want one of the best-sounding audiophile headphones, you should definitely check out the Audeze LCD-X. Number 1. HIFIMAN Arya, best overall. As our top pick, we have the HIFIMAN Arya. They have a very neutral sound profile with a touch of brightness. Although they slightly lack thump and rumble, this is likely due to their open-back design. The design also helps create a wide and spacious soundstage that can really help immerse you in your audio. They have consistent audio reproduction, so you don't have to constantly adjust them to ensure you hear the same sound each time you use them. The Arya is a planar magnetic headphone, meaning that the diaphragm's pistonic motion that creates sound waves is created by the use of a conductive trace along its surface that's immersed in a magnetic field, as opposed to typical moving coil dynamic driver headphones that have a voice coil behind the diaphragm. But the important thing to note about the HIFIMAN Arya is that it uses magnets on both sides of the diaphragm. Resolution and overall sense of clarity are undoubtedly some of the Arya's best qualities. The Arya's detail retrieval capabilities are truly impressive, and it holds its own against some of the most resolving headphones I've listened to, such as the HD800S, RAD0, and Stellia. The HIFIMAN Arya has been seriously enjoyable to listen to, and with its tonally accurate, easygoing tuning, outstanding comfort, and superb technical performance, the Arya has really proven itself to be a sensational headphone. Buying guide. Impedance. Explaining impedance may need us to dive into technical jargon that'll only confuse us more, and therefore to make it as simple as possible, this is what you should know. The lower the impedance a headphone has, then the better the sound quality it'll produce, even when powered by less powerful devices. Higher impedance headphones will need more power in order to produce great sound quality. Durability. If you're using the headphones commercially, the constant shifting of hands from one person to another leaves the headphones sensitive to wear and tear. Therefore, when choosing your cans, try to find out if their various parts can be easily replaced. This will save you from having to buy a completely new headphone when the fault is only in a small area that can be easily repaired. The overall build should also be solid enough to withstand continuous yanking and minor falls. Conclusion. There's a vast choice of high-end headphones on the market, and many are fitted with a myriad of high-tech bells and whistles. But what if you just want the purest listening experience possible? With the emphasis firmly on sound quality, audiophile headphones are an ode to outstanding sonics, rather than sensors or streaming tech. We've assembled our favourite audiophile headphones above, and they're not necessarily prohibitively expensive. Great value sound quality can exist, so don't discount more affordable headphones.